Audacity, the whole series, man, I really wanted to break it up so that people can digest it. I knew that I was still in a discovery phase. So for me to do a 12 to 15 song endeavor, you know, in January would have been a lot to chew as it pertains to people listening. And then I know how people listen as well. Like I often listen to a lot of like Russ interviews. And so he was just like, listen, people will they're going to listen to the first track. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you'll start to see it teeter off in a project. And then, you know, if you have features or certain highlights in it, they may point to that or pick their champions. And so for me, I was like, okay, well, if I condense it and I make it shorter bodies of work, that is more digestible to say, all right, you know what? I'm finna clean the kitchen. Man, I'm finna ride real quick. It's only 15 minutes or 18 minutes, you know what I mean? Like of this EP, but it's really, as far as just transition wise, I wanted it to flow so that no one's vibe was disturbed. You know what I mean? But then also, just as far as being audacious, right? Like I've been living this audacious life, being independent, making sure that I understood my worth, and then putting that energy into everybody who's listening as well. Have the audacity to live the life that you want to live, right? Whether it's professionally or personally. You know what I mean? Live the life that you want to live and be audacious in that. And I wanted to create a soundtrack that felt like that. So Volume 1 gave that renewing energy that felt very different than my previous work. And that's how I wanted to kick it off. I always enjoyed artists that, you know, when they came back with another project that they was like, yo, who was that? And you got to question it because it feels new. And I wanted to establish a level of newness within myself and within my artistry and within the theme that, you know, let people know we're in a new chapter now. We're in a whole different, you know what I mean, like ball game right now with the Audacity series. And the funny thing is, even with Audacity 2 now, it seems as though people are really taking to Volume 2 a lot more. I understand why is because Volume 2 was always meant to be more centered, right? Like if I look at the genre of R&B in a spectrum, you got left, right, and center. And center is more like your mainstream, easily digestible. It's nothing that you're trying like too new, but it's just like right in a pocket. And so the majority of the records on Volume 2 are pocket records, in which I enjoy. And so just listening to people's feedback, and as they really digest it, it seems like Volume 2 will have legs, and that gets me excited for not Volume 3, but Audacity Complete, where we really tie it all together to make this full-length project. So for people who jumped on it as far as, you know, with Volume 1, for people who are just joining with Volume 2, now they have a complete thought and a complete series by the end of the year. And I actually enjoyed doing 2020 like that, to say one theme, 3 projects, 1 year, and execute. You know, Overthinking was like a pivotal moment for Volume 2 because it was I literally created that right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I remember like it was maybe a couple of days in, and I was like, Kev, don't overthink this shit. Don't get in your head so much that you close yourself off or you create this handicap for yourself. And so I just started singing, this ain't something you should overthink, right? So I'm like, okay, this feels good. Follow this energy, Kev, because a lot of times, and I tell people a lot, I was like, you know, with my previous work, I felt like I held back. I held back so much musicality. And even within Audacity, Audacity is kind of like the tip of the iceberg of what I'm able to express. And so Overthinking was one of those records that allowed for me to naturally be as musical and as lyrical and as melodic. You know, it was just freeing for me. And so I was like, I don't know how people are going to take this. It's an interlude, but it's still a song. It's a thought. It's an idea. I'm going to just put it on the project and let's just see. I'm not going to tie it to anything. I'm not going to sucker out. I'm going to put it smack dab in here. And to watch people's like how they're streaming it, an interlude at that. Because usually interludes get that skip where it's like, nah. But people are really taking to that record, and it makes me proud because it makes me want to stick out my chest and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I can go a little further into this world of just being even more musical. You know what I mean? And understanding like the climate right now, like people want musicality. People want great feeling records. And it has less to do with the trend and more so to do with truth. And this is the perfect time for that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about 82. I'm excited about Complete, but most definitely excited about 2021 and all of the new music for sure.